Hey there, this is John Chen, CEO with Geoteaming. I want to thank you for stopping by our booth at Training Magazine's Training 2020 Expo. Hey, we appreciate your time and we enjoyed engaging with you in Florida. If you didn't get a chance to try our free Find Yourself Behavior Assessment, go to effectiveness-institute.com/geoteaming. Access to this page is going to expire on April 30th, so get that free assessment. We believe it's something that's really going to help you with the new things that you're being challenged by. During the training magazine, we announced a new partnership with the Effectiveness Institute, and I'm excited that I have CEO George Myers with us. George, how you doing?
Hi, John. Doing well. How are you doing?
Very good. Very different.
Yeah, things have really changed, haven't they, since we all got back from the conference. The conference ended and everybody got back. Hoping, by the way, you're all staying safe and finding ways to stay productive and positive in this WFH and social distancing world we're in now. Personally, I returned back to our office there in Kirkland, Bellevue area, and that's just a short space from the virus outbreak, ground zero, if you will. Most fatalities happened, very sobering, sad, obviously, and very surreal. It's been very taxing in our community, I know. Since we're just a few weeks ahead of most of the country with this now, we thought we'd share some tips on how to cope with this new environment from a WFH perspective. We just thought we'd kind of talk a little bit about the information that you get from your assessment and share how, based on your style, strategies you have, you can incorporate into daily life. So I want to introduce somebody to help with that process, my colleague Cindy Johnston at the Effectiveness Institute, who was there at the conference, and many of you met Cindy.
Yeah, hi everybody. It was great to connect and meet all of you at the conference. It just seems like it was a long, long time ago right now, but it wasn't really that long ago. So much has happened since we returned, and thank you for letting me swipe all your badges and gather your information so we can continue this connection with you. So the assessment that we gave you free, which we'll also be emailing out to you, so you have the link, will easy, has 4 quadrants on it. There's a persuader, an analyzer, a stabilizer, and a controller. And just so you know, we are all of those. Some of us just we lie stronger in certain areas. And I'm a persuader, and I recently just wrote a blog about trying to survive this virus as a persuader, and not the virus itself, but the remote isolation that we have been under. And this is our 3rd week of remote work, and some of you might just be starting with that this week. So we thought we'd share some tips of how to do that. So as a persuader, a couple tips I got. Well, I like to be around people, and I like energy and noise. And now I'm by myself, and so what I did is I put Netflix The Office on in the background, so I could just hear those jokes and people and poking fun. And I already seen all the episodes multiple times, so I don't need to actually watch it, but just having it on, it just makes me feel more connected and keeps me cheery and laughing as I just hear one of those one-liners now and then, and that's helped me out a lot. Another thing is we've done a lot of Zoom calls, Skype, FaceTiming. All of those things give you a connection, and I really, really appreciate that, and I need those things so that I can continue through and keep hunkered down here for a while longer. Last one is just get out and walk. And also, we want to respect the 6 feet rule, but just to get out into the nature, Mother Nature, that energy. We've been really lucky here in Seattle. It's sunny and gorgeous. So I can just go and do a zip through my neighborhood a couple times throughout the day just to recharge, and then come back and get on my computer and be working remotely in isolation.
And I'm going to add on to that from the stabilizer perspective. I have some of that in me. And first of all, I'm sitting in front of this smoke detector and these doors for a reason here. When the alarm goes off, we all have a choice of what we do, right? We can try to ignore it. We can pretend it's not real. Or we can get up and we can bolt out the door. The question is, are we going out the right door? Right? You want to go out the door that leads to something productive and positive and forward, and not the door of anxiety and panic. Certainly stabilizers, one of the things we talk about in change is you want to make sure you separate out what you know is changing from what's not changing. So take some time to sit down and think that through. What really is changing with all of this? What do we fear might be changing? And get clear about that. That really kind of help stabilizer, I think, style with their security need they have. By the way, another thing that stabilizers are great at is helping others out. So check on a neighbor, check on a friend, see if you can get some groceries, help them out that way. Checking on your teammates, because your teammates, obviously, the stabilizers, you have that amazing ability to connect and support people, which is something you do so well. And the last thing I'd say is, that isolated life, that WFH life that might be happening right now for you and will be happening for probably many people, stay connected with a virtual book club or a cooking class or a cocktail hour, virtual cocktail hour. How about that, huh?
Yeah, thanks, George. Actually, I host a virtual happy hour, and people are finding the value of being able to share at the end of some very, very long weeks, mostly event professionals. Now, these behavior styles are so important because once you know your style and you know your teammates' styles, you can really help them along in this process because it's changeable too. That's one of the key pieces. You can know your default style, but you can know how you can help and change. One of the styles, this is my secondary style, is a controller style. Now, you guys should be actually happy if you have a controller style because you're the take charge person. You need to, right now, you can tell a lot of people what needs to happen because a lot of people are maybe in shock or not exactly sure what to do. They're uncertain. And as a controller, one of your gifts is that you can bring certainty. You can keep your teams moving while they follow all your CDC or the guidelines or your local guidelines or other things and look for some creativity about how can we follow these pieces and still be productive. Some other tips I got here is take breaks periodically, practice something like if you have the controller, look for things that you are in control of. It might be karate or taekwondo, or George actually teach a board breaking class, and people like controllers feel immensely better after being in complete control of an experience like that. Controllers, after the end of the day, if you've had a lot of stuff happen to you, look for your own personal workout, a board, a hammer, a pillow, whatever it is that you need. That's again something that you can be in control of if in the rest of the world you are not control of. And so those are tips to remember. I think the other part that you can really do too, controllers, what I've seen is a great quote which says, when put in a position of leadership, lead. A lot of communities need controllers right now to help organize and make great things happen for those who are less privileged or less abled at this time. So if you're a controller, I think those are one of the key aspects you can do.
That's great.
And then the last quadrant is the analyzer. And George asked me to talk about this one because we were in a meeting this morning with one of our teammates, and he's very much an analyzer. And we were talking about coping, and he said, I love to be by myself. And I just almost hyperventilated. I was like, oh my gosh, that's a real challenge for me. And he found the joy in it. But there's some great things analyzers can help us with. And this Saturday night, I had big plans, but we canceled everything. And I ended up staying home by myself. And I actually did my taxes. And I would have loved it had an analyzer help me with my taxes. So that's maybe something an analyzer can help us with. Learn it. And another person on our team, she's an analyzer, and she said she's learning a new language with an online exchange partner, and that's really bringing her a lot of joy and coping right now. And then she also suggested working on a puzzle, which analyzers like to make things fit and make things work. So that's another one. But like I said in the beginning, we are all of these things. We can all do all of them, so we can get some tips from each other. You might want to try a persuader's tip, even if you're an analyzer. And I tried an analyzer one this weekend, and I survived it. So there you go.
Lots of different good food for thought here. I think most of all, I think we, John and I and Sydney, we've been talking about this, and really what we want to do is we want to make sure we help you. We want to be available to support you as you continue to transition into this new world that we are rapidly moving into. We do have, by the way, a webinar that we're going to be offering, the Institute's offering, called Thriving in the Chaos of Unexpected Change, this Friday and next Friday. You can find out more information about that on the link here, effectiveness.com. Just go to our upcoming events there and see what's there, and you can register for that. We'd love to have you join us to learn some more tips about ways you can survive and thrive through this challenging time.
Yeah, while this situation is new, the challenge of working with leadership and teams is not new. Those are the same challenges. They're just showing up in new ways. And George and I have an immense, over 20 years experience, each of us, in helping with this, which is why I partnered with them. In our case, we have 10 one-hour free webinars for virtual team building. So it's a great case to see how to maximize these online meetings, keep your teammates engaged, and create some stability that people like analyzers and stabilizers really, really want. And that's at virtualteambuilding.eventbrite.com. Again, virtualteambuilding.eventbrite.com. And I hope that you use this opportunity to join us for a valuable resource that could really help you. So I want to say thank you again for seeing you at Training Magazine. This is why we meet. This is why we go to trade shows, so we can make connections like this and so we can help each other out. Hey, we look forward to seeing you online. See you soon.
Yeah.